Now, New York, right out of the bracket. Forget about it. I don't even want to talk about it. What else is going on in the NIT? LSU at Iowa. Late second half, Ronald Dupree. Tie game, no more. The Bucks 20 to go. A little later, after the steal, Taurus Bright. Here's the steal. Sort of ahead of myself. Here's Taurus Bright getting the ball on the break, throwing it down. A huge two-possession game now for LSU. Last chance for Iowa, down 3, and why not give it to the guy that kept on beating the buzzer in the Big Ten tournament? That's Luke Rector. Wide open look, but it's a little strong, and LSU goes into Iowa and knocks off the Hawkeyes by 2. How about South Carolina and Virginia? Just over 6 minutes to go. Jamel Bradley for 3. Cox by a Virginia coming back. Roger Mason Jr. and 1. Makes the free throw. It's a 3-point game, but too much Cox. Chuck Ertzen, the head fake inside the 3-point line, and USC knocks out Virginia. The Cavaliers' disappointing season comes to an end, and with Louisiana State's victory, that Ball State St. Joseph's winner will play LSU in the, I guess, the south part of this particular bracket. I say south because I'm in the lower part of the screen. UNLV will play South Carolina. Moving more in the NIT brackets, the winner of the game that you are watching will face Louisville, which was an exciting last-second winner over Princeton last night. Manhattan and Villanova, La Tech and Vanderbilt are yet to play. And finishing up your first round of the Corning NIT bracket, Dayton, the Flyers, a victor tonight over Detroit, which knocked Dayton out of the NIT last year. Takes on Tennessee Tech, Yale, Rutgers, UC Irvine, BYU, Greensboro, and Memphis still yet to play. As for the game you're watching, Lynn Greer, 20, solid big 2-0 in the first half. What can he do in the second half to keep Temple in the lead over Tark and Fresno State?
Tina?
Hi, you must be Todd.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to keep the mileage down on this car, so I drive it backwards 4 days a week.
Need a motor oil for a high-mileage car? We developed one. Pennzoil high-mileage vehicle restores the performance of older engines.
If you have a well-oiled machine with over 75,000 miles, bring it to Jiffy Lube for Pennzoil high-mileage vehicle.
Today.
It's the start of another year, and Chevy wants to make it one to remember. That's why we're kicking it into overdrive with $2,002 cash back on every new 2001 and 2002 Chevy car, truck, and SUV. That's $2,002 when you lease or purchase any new Chevrolet. It's a new year, and a new Chevy could make all the difference. So see your local Chevy dealer today.
Hey, fellas, I think I found a house for us.
It's not made of sticks, is it?
Nope.
Straw?
3 bedrooms, gated community, house of bricks.
Perfect.
Looking for a new home? Try HomeAdvisor.com. You'll find hundreds of thousands of listings updated daily and get the mortgage that's right for you. Find the home that suits your needs, whatever your needs may be.
Hey, you want to play in the backyard?
Yeah. Hiya, neighbors.
HomeAdvisor.com. Make yourself at home.
ESPN's presentation of the Owens Corning NIT postseason tournament is brought to you by Brand Jordan and by Pennzoil. We're driving protection.
I think it's awfully nice of Jimmy Dykes to give those tuba players those covers for their big horns. Owens Corning NIT, it's halftime here in Fresno. and the Temple Owls lead it 36-35. Hey, we're having some fun. That's what college basketball is all about. We're in the NIT tonight. Some good first-round action. How about Lynn Greer coming all the way across the country? He looks like he's right at home on Broad Street.
Yeah, I've got to ask you, how can a guy fly 7 hours from Philly and get 20 in the first half? If there's ever a guy you've got to guard, like your little sister at a frat party, Lynn Greer's the guy right now. He is flat out filling it up.
6 out of 7 from three-point range. He is so far.
He barely has even hit rim. I mean, this guy is, his radar is on as pure as I've seen on the college level this year. Fresno State's got to find that guy. He's killing him right now. And then they also got to remember they got a pretty good hand himself in Melvin Eli. He loves it on that left block, coming back to the middle. He's going to make plays over the top of you all evening long. Get the ball to Eli if you're from Fresno, and keep it in Lynn Greer's hands if you're from Temple. Let him shoot it out.
7 of 10 shooting overall for Lynn Greer. 6 out of 7 beyond the arc. Melvin, of course, does not live beyond the arc. I'm not even sure he knows there's wood on the floor outside that circle. 7 rebounds for him. And in the first half, Temple hanging tough in the rebounding department, down only 20-19. Considering Kevin Light played all of 2 minutes before getting 2 fouls. Ron Rollerson had a couple of fouls and played 10 minutes. You know what? You know what we just saw? We saw a really good coaching job by John Chaney in the first half, as those 2 fouls took his big men away from him, really.
Well, when he had to go small just for a couple of minutes, it wasn't working, and he quickly got Rollerson back in that lineup. How about that half by Lynn Greer, Bob? 20 points, 20 minutes, 6 out of 7 from the three-point line, no turnovers in the ball game so far. You're not going to speed that guy up out of his rhythm. He has faced tougher pressure than he's got on him this evening, I can tell you that for sure.
Lynn Greer, 1,991 points at Engineering and Science High School in Philly. Number 2 all-time in the public league, and guess who was number 1? Wilt Chamberlain. Long jumper short from Damon Jackson of Fresno, and it'll be going back the other way. Wilt Chamberlain scored 206 points plus 2,000 at Overbrook High School in Philly, and Lynn Greer, number 2 all-time behind Wilt the Stick.
Fresno stays in that amoeba matchup zone. One guy on the ball that got some little different rotation principles across that back line. Again, forget about what the zone tells you right now and go with your instincts. Don't let Greer shoot the basketball.
Hawkins.
That's fine.
You know what?
Let Hawkins make him. Don't let Greer make him anymore.
But the key to that play is the ball went inside to Kevin Light before it came back out. That's something Temple hasn't been able to do all night long. Demanby on the wing, looking for the entry pass, and Westby steps in to take it away. Alex didn't have a big first half. A couple of points, but he had 4 rebounds, a couple of assists, a couple of steals. Greer misfires, and it's back the other way in a hurry. Damon Jackson has nobody to help him, so he waits for the secondary break. Greer almost stealing it. Now it's loose, straight ahead. And that's Greer from Polk, but Lynn Greer is the one who made that happen.
Doesn't he anticipate
for him?
Does not he anticipate with about as well as you can do it? He kind of baits you into thinking, I'm not going to gamble, then he shoots that passing lane just as you're releasing the basketball.
Jumper right side. It won't fall for Noel Felix. Temple has matched their biggest lead. They led 31-25. Now they lead 41-35.
Every time Temple advances that ball across the timeline, there's only about 27, 28 seconds to go with the possession.
Wide the kick out and a deflection. Travis Demanby. And 18 to shoot when the Owls throw it back in.
Talk about Lynn Greer is shooting that passing lane, anticipating. I mean, the other thing he doesn't do, he doesn't gamble very many times without coming up with that basketball. He's not a careless gambler on the perimeter. He's a high IQ gambler. This guy's successful on and off the floor.
Here's Greer penetrating, stopped, got the shot off. Now he was stopped by 3 guys. He still gets a shot off and draws a 2-shot foul. How does he do that? Travis Demanby with his first.
Guy's played a ton of basketball. Look at him. 3 guys surround him. He's got great control, Bob, of his body. See him get inside here. Defenders run at him. He's got a little ball fake to get Eli to reach down. Then he goes up, and he just understands everything on that offensive end. Making the pass to the guy that makes the pass, attack angles, getting his shoulders in front of your shoulders, spotting up, relocating to get in that catch and shoot position.
Yeah, and he gets to the line and hits 87% there. Lynn Greer with 24 tonight. Having a huge evening here at Selland Arena, Fresno. Look at it. They lost sight of Eli. Kevin Light was out defending up high. And Melvin Eli now with 15. First basket, second half for him.
The only thing Lynn Greer won't do on the offensive end is be an offensive rebounder. He only has 19 offensive rebounds in the entire season in 29 ball games. Stays around that perimeter with the shots taken. He's the first guy back every time for defensive balance.
Kevin Light kept it alive, and he took a foul from Travis Demandby.
And Melvin Eli, they're fighting for position. He's learned not to fight pressure with pressure, so he tries to spread out low. He's learned as a tall, active guy the importance of having a good lower base. See him constantly moving that possession bomb, making that defender change his position, and finally he got himself freed up. He's not going to just lock and sit on that low block. He's an active, low block player.
Matt Mitchell, the assignment, watching Lynn Greer now out of that zone. Greer goes down to the right, pulls up, and it's short. Eli a touch. Hawkins rips it away from him. And then he's fouled by Damon Jackson. Everybody in the building cheering for the Bulldogs thought he slipped and fell on his own. Damon Jackson with his first.
See the shot taken by Greer, and Temple does a great job of rebounding on that weak side out of their zone offense. You see Jackson just a little bit of a bump, contact, and Temple gets the foul in their favor.
I like the poise with which David Hawkins, a sophomore, plays. A-10 all-rookie team last year. Averaging 15 points a game. He is strong. Former DC Player of the Year. Out of Archbishop Carroll in Washington. We got him listed at 6'4", 215. I think he's put on a little bit more than that since they had him on the scale for that during the preseason. Probably the most important guy on the team other than Lynn Greer, because he can take some of that scoring burden off of Lynn Greer from time to time. Kevin Light drawing the double. Bounce pass. Oh, what a great look for Westby. Great patience by Kevin Light. And now we see the Temple game changing into more of an inside game than total perimeter they had first half.
Anytime the Temple bigs step off the post and receive the basketball, they're going to pass it on.
That one broken up by Alex Westby on the alley-oop. And Temple starting to move it out here a little bit, leading by 8. 3:40 out of halftime, their largest lead. We've got a foul away from the ball, and that's bad news for Temple. Number 3 on Kevin Light.
Bob, watching Kevin Light get that basketball, again, you're going to get a cutter going right down to the rim, right to the rim. That's where the read comes from. Kevin Light sees it, going to get a slip, boom. That time it came from the other side, but it's going to be an action going towards the rim, either from the ball side elbow or the weak side elbow or the weak side of the floor. He's picking up a cutter coming right towards that rim area.
Well, we'll see how his third foul affects things. Travis Demandby on top, Matt Mitchell working against Greer. Melvin Eli, shot fake, Mitchell, but inside the arc, he drills it. First field goal tonight for the 6-foot freshman out of Atlanta's Mays High School. He was the Atlanta Area Player of the Year last year.
Fresno's got to get out and start putting some pressure on Temple. You let these guys pass the ball around the perimeter, the possession, and penetrate and shoot. You can't let them do it. You've got to make them get out of their rhythm just a little bit. It's not easy to do, but you got to find a way to do it.
Niall Murray to miss. Noel Felix the rebound. Demandby can't hit the 3 as the Dogs had a quick trigger in transition. Murray to the corner for Greer. Murray now for Westby. Hawkins corner. It draws Eli away from the basket. Murray for 3. Wow. Right down it goes. Niall Murray, freshman from Houston, his second 3 of the night. And it's 48-39. They're ahead by 9, their largest margin.
Murray's a kid that had 33 points this year in a game at Fordham. Greer's got some help from time to time. That's when Temple's at their best, when they get another score to go with Lynn Greer.
Lynn Greer had 43 in that game. How about that for a 1-2 punch? 5 minutes out of halftime. John Chaney's Owls looking good. In Fresno, on top by 9.
Bid now on exclusive props from a season on the brand. Log on to ESPNauctions.com.
For over 60 years, Owens Corning has been advancing the science of insulation, roofing, sound control, even home theaters. And everything we've learned we've put into one very special place, your home. Owens Corning, we know homes.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals?
No.
Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue. Man, that tastes awesome. Get Selsun Power.
This guy is about to eat a croissant. The pizza you eat like a sandwich. And these things are big. So you gotta train. 51 cubic inches of perfection. Come on, bag of bones. $5.99 or 2 for $10.99. Come on, Tiny. The new Pizzone from Pizza Hut.
Just so I understand, is it a chip? I hesitate to call it a chip.
And it fuels the internet?
Helps to fuel. It helps to fuel the internet.
Is it like software?
Software is a really weird word.
That's a weird word.
You guys have a website? Yeah, we have one under construction.
You have a website.
Oh, so you're on the web, the World Wide Web.
This is fantastic.
I think we'd be idiots not to fund this. Really?
The new E-Trade. More of what you need to stay ahead in today's economy. E-Trade Financial.
Temple's starting to push this thing out just a little bit, huh? And the reason why is the head out right there in the huddle. Look what this guy's done in his 20 years at Temple. Is just outstanding, his resume. Guy that doesn't do commercials, no speeches or clinics in the summer, no TV, no radio shows, negotiates his own contract. He shies away from anything that's fancy in his personal life, the way he coaches, the type of kids he recruits. He's in the business, Bob Carpenter, for the right reasons. He likes to see young people develop on the floor, off the floor, in the classroom. If you have a chance for your young person to play for John Chaney, grab it up and go. He will make them a better person and a better man.
Hall of Famer inducted with Mike Krzyzewski and Moses Malone in the class of 2001. And joining another great Temple head coach, Harry Litwack, the Chief, who coached for 21 years. A couple of Final Fours for the Chief. 1952 to 73, and amazingly, as I said earlier, since the late 20s, they've had 5 head coaches at Temple in basketball. I mean, some schools have that many in a decade.
You float that ball against Temple. What I mean by floating is just throw that little high, soft pass. It takes about an extra second to get there. It ain't going to get there. Those guys read and react and fly in from the weak side. That zone defense awfully well. No floaters against Temple. That's another key to this ball game.
Lindgren on the perimeter. Getting it back from Hawkins, looking to penetrate. Right through 2 dogs, switching to the left hand. And the rebound for Fresno's Damon Jackson. Travis DeManby shovels it back to him. Look at Westby. He boxed Melvin Eli off that rebound right there. Talking about a guy who's 6'6".
The hands of Kevin Light. I mean, that thing came to him in about a split second and got it and snatched it.
Melvin deflecting that ball out on the wing, and thus the steal for his guys inside.
Side out.
DeManby from Mitchell. And back. Eli sets up left block. Damon Jackson on the right perimeter. Was thinking about a 3-point shot, didn't catch it cleanly. DeManby is long with his, and that is a foul, if it is, on Kevin Lyde, and that'll be his 4th. He only played 2 minutes of the first half, and he plays 6 minutes and 19 seconds this half. That really hurts Temple.
It's a big loss as your leading rebounder, a guy that covers up well on the low block. You see the reaction of John Chaney right now.
Now he's going to check in Ron Rollerson, who has a history of foul trouble. And then, of course, everything goes wrong for you as the other guy drains the 3, Damon Jackson, and we're back to a 6-point game.
As long as Lynn Greer's on the floor, though, Temple's going to be okay. He will keep his club in this ball game single-handedly.
Murray on the wing for Westby. Rollerson setting up right block. Right into his soft hands it goes. A shot made by Hawkins. Stopped in the corner. Where's Lynn Greer? Left perimeter. Ball's on the right side the whole time. Hawkins slashing in. Getting his own rebound, and it won't go in. How did that thing stay out? It looked like gravity had to take over sooner or later. Eli, and Rollerson knocks it away. Checking it was Hiram Fuller, and the turnover will give it back to Temple. Pretty good play by Ron Rollerson, and a risky one at that. He already has a couple of fouls. Fresno State turning it over for the 12th time. Temple's done a nice job of keeping the ball. Only 6 turnovers. And John Chaney, he's a coach that obsesses over turnovers at the offensive end. He loves the passing and receiving game. Look at Rollerson, and it was knocked away from him. Should stay with Temple. And for the first time tonight, Fresno will check in. 6'9" sophomore Mustafa El Said.
So what about the time this game ends? It's going to be about the normal time that Temple usually starts practice back on the East Coast, isn't it?
John Chaney known for crack of dawn practices. Larry Conley and I did a game with John in Memphis last year. By the way, John Chaney in Memphis with the barbecue, he was a man in his element for 3 days. He had a practice at 6 o'clock one morning. Here's Greer. Little long. Greer's got it back.
Man, he got ran over.
That's a 3-shot foul. And that was Mustafa El Said going out there to pick him up.
I talked about don't give the guy open looks this half, but you also don't run over him at the end of a 3-point attempt.
First on El Said. Lynn Greer with 24 points already tonight.
Lynn Greer, one of the 10 finalists, Bob, for that class award that's being given out this year for the first time ever. Stands for celebrating loyalty and achievement by staying in school. One of the 10 finalists, along with guys like Steve Logan that we like right now. Dan Dickow and some guys, but he would be a hard one to pass up. My goodness, what he means to that Temple program and John Chaney, you can't quite put into words.
Number 2 all-time scorer, 27 tonight. Over 2,060 points in his outstanding career. By the way, he's a 5th-year senior. Lynn Greer had to redshirt in '99, had some eye surgery. He saves it. Hawkins to the rack. And getting it done, Lynn Greer at the defensive end. And now they open it up to an 11-point lead, their largest of the night. Travis Demanby on top. Sandy for Jackson. David's 3 is long. Rollerson elevates as best he can.
You know what Temple does well, Bob? They move on the flight of the ball, on the air time of the ball. As soon as that ball's passed, all 5 black jerseys are in motion.
Greer unable to hit the 3. Boy, that would have been huge. They would have been up by 14 after a turnover with that. Here's Sandy through traffic. Little mid-range jumper, and down it goes. Chris Sandy with 5 on the night. Maybe a lot better had he been available all year. He's only been back for the last 2 games after an 8-game NCAA academic ineligibility.
The more possessions that Fresno has in this game, even if it results in 2 points, Eli's not touching it, Temple's going to win this basketball game. Just mark it down.
Tough luck shot. Niall Murray wouldn't go in. Sandy for Demanby. Down goes the 3. A dozen for Travis Demanby. 47 for Fresno. They're still down by 6. Tark pacing that sideline. And John Chaney's not one of those guys who's going to panic and call a timeout just because the other team hits a couple of shots.
No, not at all, because he plays a style that's going to naturally quiet the crowd a little bit by passing that ball and taking open jump shots right on cue.
First 3 of the night for Alex Westby. 7 for him.
He knows his kids aren't going to get out of character and just dribble in there and jack one up just because the crowd's cheering against him. The crowd's got nothing to do with it.
Sandy, a great no-look pass underneath David Jackson. You know, there's another coach who did pretty well out here in this part of the country who hardly ever called a timeout like that, and that was the Wizard of Westwood. John Wooden would say, boys, just keep on playing.
Yeah, well, he's up 20 or 30 most of the time.
There were times.
Yeah, there were times he was only up 10.
Temple with a timeout. John Chaney does stop it now. Maybe for a breather as much as anything. 10-14 to go. Good ball game. The Owls from Philly by 7.
Armor All Protection
protectant wipes. Armor All shine and protection in a wipe.
March is the time to turn your home wish list into a wish come true at the Home Depot. Come in now through March 31st and get no payments and no interest if paid by January 2003 on consumer credit card purchases of $299 or more for all your kitchen, appliance, bath, and flooring projects. So bring in your list and get no payments and no interest if paid by January 2003 now at the Home Depot.
Tomorrow.
Mandy!
Thrill.
Back scratcher!
To the chill. Ice Age, rated PG. Tomorrow, only in theaters.
Pizza Hut kicked it to me, now I'm kicking it down to you. The new Pazone. If the Pazone was a shoe, it'd be like the size 14 triple E. 51 cubic inches of perfection.
Wow, that's a big shoe.
$5.99 or 2 for $10.99. The new Pazone from Pizza Hut.
It's time to spring into action at your Honda dealer. Spring into the saddle of selected CRs or XRs and ride off with 6.9% financing and no down payment. And you can also get 6.9% and no down payment on any Honda ATV. Or if you'd rather spring for low monthly payments, they start as low as $69 a month with your Honda car. Spring into action now on dirt bikes and ATVs at your Honda dealer.
At least his feet are comfortable. Wolverine DuraShocks with new compressor technology. They don't quit.
Owens Corning NIT first round action, Fresno, California. And the Bulldogs of the WAC hosting Atlantic 10's Temple. And right now, some long-range shooting, keeping the Dogs in this thing.
Well, they're looking at Travis DeMamby right now. He's 4 out of 10 from the field. All 10 shot attempts by DeMamby have been from that three-point line. There's a guy with 12 points from beyond that arc. But here's a concern. They're 8 out of 22 as a team. Melvin Eli has only shot the ball 8 times. You got Damon Jackson shot at 12. DeMamby has shot at 10. Melvin Eli's got to get more touches in this ball game.
8 out of their 38 total shots in this game. And on top of that, not the rebounding edge you might expect for Fresno. Right now, they've out-rebounded Temple by 1. Well, actually, it's now Temple by 1, 29-28. Tark's Dogs had a 1-rebound advantage at the half.
Bob, and Eli's 5 out of 8 from the field, okay? He's also 5 out of 8 from the free throw strike, which tells you every time he's touching it, something good has happened for his club when he's caught it and made a move to the rim.
Maybe it's time for reintroductions. Right side jumper, no rotation whatsoever on that one by Alex Westby. Looked like a knuckleball heading up there, way short. Fresno down by 7, 9:50 to go. I got Rollerson on Eli's left arm, Westby on his right side. Now the ball taken away. Guess who? Lynn Greer rolls it in. 29 for him, and he's about to hit 30 or better for the 6th time this year.
Man, he's just playing with it. He will make you look bad in a heartbeat if you're careless with that basketball up top.
Felix. How about that? His 7th total three-point make of the year. I heard some folks behind us going, what is this? And down it went. And the Bulldogs back to within 6. Murray for 3. They sloughed off him, and he just drills it. 3 trays for the freshman Niall Murray tonight.
Actually, their best three-point shooter percentage-wise, right around 38% on the year. All about shot selection. Temple's not going to force up any bad looks from that three-point line. It's either open or it's a quick pass to somebody else and let them make a decision.
Chris Sandy skipping it over the top. Damon Jackson right back to him. Sandy the entry for Eli. Tried to catch it. Murray went flashing by and made a little bit of contact there. And for Niall Murray, that'll be his 3rd.
Jerry Tarkanian's breaking it down pretty simple in front of us, telling his kids, throw it to Eli.
8:36 to go, and it's 61-52. Temple by 9.
Tomorrow, watch women's semifinal action from the Pacific Life Open Indian Wells. Martina Hingis has her sights set on another final appearance, but standing in her way is the legendary Monica Seles. The Pacific Life Open Indian Wells, semifinal action tomorrow at 9 on ESPN.
Enterprise? You rented our car from Enterprise?
Yeah.
Why Enterprise?
Because they pick us up. Free.
A free pickup? Wow, they ought to be #1.
They are #1.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
He's got the bazoon from Pizza Hut in his hand. He can't handle the 51 cubic inches of Pizza Hut perfection. He can't go all the way. $5.99 or 2 for $10.99. The new bazoon from Pizza Hut.
On Friday, 64 teams will try to prove why only they should be called champions. The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship.
First round action begins Friday at 6 and 11:30 on ESPN2.
What's the best deal on a car or truck? I'm Marty Mayforth, the owner of Madera Toyota, part of the Madera Auto Center. At Madera Toyota, the best deal is more than a good price. It starts with our huge inventory of Toyota cars and trucks, all with Toyota's quality and dependability. You also get our commitment to you, the customer. We believe actions speak louder than words. We accept nothing short of your complete satisfaction before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. At Madera Toyota, we're committed to quality. We'll keep you coming back.
What smells so good?
New Nescafe Kona Blend. Legend has it, the world's finest coffee beans. Grown on slopes so high, now stick with me, most mortals can't find them or reach them.
Reached them.
Found them. Can't find them or reach them.
Introducing new Nescafe Gourmet Ground Coffees. Nescafe, Adventures in Coffee.
61-52 Temple. First round NIT action. Looking for a date in round 2. Thursday and Friday, 5 Eastern on ESPN. It's College Hoops Tonight NCAA Special. Chris Fowler, Digger Phelps, and Dick Vitale. They'll analyze the afternoon games as the men's NCAA field gets pared down. Log on to ESPN.com. You can get your own brackets. Still got time to get them filled out by tomorrow.
Yeah, if you waited till now, then you automatically get one because you know Siena won last night. See, that's how that works. Don't turn that thing in on Monday. Wait till the end of that playoff.
David Jackson turning in some outside shooting. And that's 14 for David. And right now, a Fresno club, after their coach told us they couldn't throw a ball in the valley out here, doing nothing but make three-point shots. Lynn Greer way out there, barely nicking iron. Loose ball, good hustle Westby, saves it, left side, Hawkins down deep, Melvin Eli got him from behind. Loose ball, look at Hawkins working. And he stepped in the baseline. This kid is man in motion, isn't he? Now we arrive at the under 8-minute timeout. That was the under 12 we had a few moments ago. The lead is now down to 6.
For over 60 years, Owens Corning has been advancing the science of insulation, roofing, sound control, even home theaters. And everything we've learned, we've put into one very special place, your home. Owens Corning, we know homes.
Get triple miles from participating airlines when you stay at any Choice hotel in the U.S. and the Caribbean. And you'll also get the chance to enter our 2 million mile giveaway. One lucky traveler will win 1 million miles, and 10 people will win 100,000 miles. Sounds like it's a good time to hit the road. For reservations, call 1-800-4CHOICE.
Kevin Garnett, the kid, player of the present and future, ideal player of the 21st century. We call him KG the Kid, KG. But if you seen him with a basketball, you know that he grown. If you seen him on the ball court, you know that he home. It's like every dunk is drastic. First to get drafted out of high school since Moses Malone. Everybody gotta earn their turn. I think the kid game got hot since his jersey burned. And you couldn't find a finer kid than the 7-foot South Carolina kid of obsessed with balls. And the rim need a hard net. Better act like you know, come on, dog. That's Kevin Garnett, about to get an and one, all of your mug. Said he play around the clock cause it's ball in his blood. He ain't think about a turnover. That's KG, he the player of the future. And the game about to turn over. Think you got game, then you gon' have to learn over. Yeah. KG.
ESPN's presentation of the Owens Corning NIT postseason tournament is presented by Owens Corning. At Owens Corning, we know homes. And in part by Choice Hotels. Choice Hotels International invites you to experience the power of being there. Go! And by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Call 1-800-RENT-A-CAR. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Well, some cheerleaders for Fresno State and a future one as well. Here at Selland Arena, downtown Fresno. They've got a new on-campus facility coming. The Save More Center in a couple of years. It'll seat 16,500. Right now they're down 6 to Temple. 7:58 to go. Teams fighting for their postseason lives here, trying to extend their season at least another round.
You know, I like to listen to the coaches that have been around the game as long as these two guys. And how about Tart today telling us, I lack a guy that gets in a fist fight every now and then. You got to have a tough guy, a guy that gets in a fist fight every now and then. Know exactly what he's talking about.
Damon Jackson with 17. And their three-point shooting has been remarkable in the second half. Lindgren on the perimeter. Murray on the left side for David Hawkins. Greer. Shot faking all over the place. Murray for three. Way off. Way upstairs is Damon Jackson to pull it down. On the perimeter, he's open again. We are tied. 20 for Damon Jackson.
Well, it's no secret. You talk to anybody that plays against Temple year in and year out, and they tell you, you've got to have those nights where you knock down shots over the top of that defense. Right now, Fresno's in one of those 10-minute runs right now where they're just knocking down shots.
Who's going to step up for Temple? They can't make it. Westby has had rather an off night shooting the basketball, and now the Bulldogs with a chance to take the lead.
It's amazing how long we've gone in this game between touches from Melvin Eli.
There's one. Look at it. It's kept alive by Noel Felix. Here's Mitchell penetrating, losing it, and a foul on the way appears to be against Lynn Greer.
Foul number 14,
Look at the range that Damon Jackson's going to throw at you. He's just barely inside the out-of-bounds line when he first receives that basketball and then has room to step into his shot. That's when he's at his best, when he can catch and step into his shot going towards the rim. He's not nearly as effective when he's moving side to side as a shooter.
Big-time run by the home team here. Eli turning to face. Contact from Ron Rollerson, and that'll be his third.
Foul number 3, Ron Rollerson, his third.
Melvin Eli catch that ball at the elbow area, and then the footwork to square up on you. The quickness, a little hesitation. He's a fallible kid. Again, he's been guarded by 1.5 defenders all season long. Then usually 2 when he catches it, and sometimes 3.
With 4 fouls, Kevin Lyde back in for Temple. They'll get bigger now as Niall Murray leaves 6'4", and Lyde 6'10", 260 checks back in.
The upside of Melvin Eli, Bob, for life after college basketball, he can run, he's long and lanky, he can jump, he's got great footwork, and he's durable. You're looking at a kid that plays about 37 minutes a game.
Big-time noise from the Selland Arena crowd now here in Fresno. A team that was knocked out of its conference tournament in the second round and Tulsa by Tulsa. Trying to make some postseason noise here. Rollerson leaves it off. And it won't go for Hawkins. Kevin Lyde the rebound. Lynn Greer a fake. He'll kick it to Westby. And he knocks it down. That is huge for Temple. Alex Westby with 10 points on the night. They're back on top by 2. 5.5 to go.
Beautiful job by Lynn Greer. He knew he was going to pass that basketball to Wesby as soon as he caught it. But he penetrated to free Wesby up just a little bit more, then delivered that ball right on the numbers.
Eli from Sandy, over live, no. And the Temple rebound, Hawkins. I think Temple will be glad to see Melvin Eli take that jumper out there the rest of the night. They don't want to see him near the rack with all their guys in foul trouble. Again, Wesby. Wow, he just bangs it in. Alex Wesby with 13. I'll tell you, credit him. Cold night, he keeps on gunning, and now he gets 2 in a row to go down. The Owls by 5. Eli again. Wide in front of him. Rollerson. He's surrounded by some large fellas there. Right back to him. On top, Mitchell. Back iron. Loose ball. Picked up by Chris Sandy of Fresno State. Taking a fresh 35 to work with here. Damon Jackson is on fire.
He's not going to beat you doing anything other than shooting, though. He's not a passing threat or a dribbling threat. Talking about Jackson, number 4.
Here's Mitchell looking to penetrate. Takes a shot, knocks it down. Matt Mitchell with a half dozen tonight. He was recruited by some Big East schools. Miami of Florida, Seton Hall, and Georgetown coming out of Atlanta. 4 minutes to go. Temple calls a timeout, ahead by 3.
Talked about what Damon Jackson did the last time we were out here, Bob, against Oklahoma State. Knocked down 7 of them from beyond that three-point line. Anytime he can catch, get his rhythm, just go up and shoot. And he's really, really good. You make him move just a little bit, that's not his strength. See what that time he caught it and stepped into his shot. He's almost automatic that he can do that.
6 threes for Damon Jackson tonight. He came in at 35% beyond the arc. And look at the second half shooting by Fresno. They've missed a couple here. They were hotter than 6 of 11 there earlier. So threes are raining here in the San Joaquin Valley tonight. 4:01 to go. Temple on top, 67-64. Owls have it. Hawkins. And you know the ball's going to be in the hands of Lynn Greer a lot for the next 4 minutes.
Pretty simple offensive attack. This time they stepped Rollerson out for a little bit of a ball screen, but it's pretty much been 4 guys around the perimeter and a big on the inside, and there's a big right in front of the rim.
How about that pass from Kevin Light? Ron Rollerson slamming it in. That's 4 for him tonight, and Temple quiets the crowd a bit, leading by 5. Sandy improvising, and his arm was grabbed as he attempted to make that pass down to Melvin Eli. That'll be a foul on Lynn Greer, his 3rd. And we arrive at the under 4-minute media timeout. 3:26 to go. You talk about the Philadelphia skyline. Here's live, and here comes Ron Rollerson. Folks, you better duck.
This is crabgrass. I don't want to see crabgrass in my lawn. We put down Scott's turf builder with Halts in the early spring.
That's the only thing I ever use. Scott's puts this protective barrier over the lawn.
And it stops the crabgrass from germinating. Turf builder with Halts, the best defense against crabgrass.
I feel good. Who am I playing?
John McEnroe.
Oh, man. Hey, Mike. Hey, you're gonna take it easy on me, right? No. I'll give you $1. What can you do with $1? You can dial 10-10-220.
All calls up to 20 minutes are 99 cents.
Really?
And 7 cents a minute after 20.
20 minutes for 99 cents?
Is that a good deal?
What? You can't be serious. It's a great deal. I like this guy. Forgot this one.
Dial 10-10-220.
This guy is about to eat a song. The pizza you eat like a sandwich. And these things are big. So you you gotta train. 51 cubic inches of perfection. Come on, bag of bones. $5.99 or 2 for $10.99. Come on, Tiny. The new Fazone from Pizza Hut.
Tina?
Hi, you must be Todd.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to keep the mileage down on this car, so I drive it backwards 4 days a week.
Need a motor oil for a high-mileage car? We developed one. Pennzoil high-mileage vehicle restores the performance of older engines.
If you have a well-oiled machine with over 75,000 miles, bring it to Jiffy Lube for Pennzoil high-mileage vehicle.
Fresno State's first ever NIT was when they won it all in '83. They went to the semis in '98. And here's how it shapes up. Winner of this one gets Louisville in round 2. Manhattan and Nova, they'll play tomorrow night. And Tech and Vanderbilt already won some games. They had to kind of play their way into the first round. As you may know, the NIT expanding from 32 to a field of 40 teams this year. So 8 extras got in. It required some extra, I guess you would sort of call them play-in games to set up the brackets for the final 32. Here's Sandy from the left side. Goes to 3. 8 for Chris Sandy tonight. And Temple unable to shake Fresno because of this perimeter shooting. That's their 7th successful 3 out of 12 shots this half. Lynn Greer for the Owls.
Fresno with 13 three-point makes on the night, Bob, and again, they came in averaging about 4 or 5. Something that Temple just couldn't count on happening to him right now.
And again, Jerry Tarkanian sitting over there and saying, where has this been? This is a team that couldn't make a shot for the last month and a half. Lynn Greer all the way, 31 for him. I don't think he even breaks a sweat. It's not that he's not working hard, but the guy is so smooth, it's unbelievable.
He makes you look silly at times, what he does.
Tough shot. Chris Sandy really forcing that thing. Then it was kept in by Alex Westby. And now Temple's going to try to get it as far down to 2 minutes on this possession as they can. They're not an easy team to make a comeback against.
Well, because they shorten the length of the game, we've had all this hooping and hollering going on in Sellerini. Look up, and Temple's still up with a 4-point lead right now. It's just their style. They're going to manufacture everything on both ends of the floor on you.
Shot clock at 7. Rollerson back to Greer. Shot clock at 4. He lets it go. Maybe a little bit of contact, but no call. Now it's dribbled right off the leg of Matt Mitchell.
Things you cannot do. You just can't do them right there. That's one reason why Fresno finished 9-9 in that conference play in the WAC.
Now they come out and foul Lynn Greer with Damon Jackson. That really hurt. They were down by 4, had the ball, didn't need a 3. Any kind of score makes it a 1-possession game. And now Lynn Greer could hit some free throws and make it a 6-point lead. Jerry Tarkanian wants a timeout. Hollering to the official. Can't you hear me?
Look at Greer. Just pick his spots, doesn't he? He doesn't beat you with great quickness, but he's got good size. He understands taking the angles, getting the shoulders in front of you. He moves side to side really well. A lot of great body control. Hard to guard is Lynn Greer.
Jerry Tarkanian's been hard to beat for a lot of years. Only Dean Smith has won 20 games more times than Jerry Tarkanian. Now, we talked about John Chaney going into the Hall of Fame. Well, here's some of Tark's credentials. Trying to get to number 20 with a win here tonight. He's done it 29 times. He will be on the Hall of Fame ballot again this coming year. And a guy who's just been up there with some of the giants of the game. It's really amazing, Jimmy, when you look how far he and Dean Smith are ahead of all the greats like Bob Knight, Lute Olson, Jim Boeheim, the great Adolph Rupp of Kentucky, and John Chaney making his way up that list.
He's averaged 25 wins in the 30 years at the major college level. Now that's getting it done on a consistent basis. Look at that resume. The career wins, the national championship back in '90. Look at that talent he's had. 42 players drafted by the NBA over those numbers of years he's been on the sidelines as a college coach.
But there should be a big question mark right there. Is he going to be around? Jerry has said he'd like to coach for another year, maybe escort this team into their new arena 2 seasons from now. But there's speculation around here. Some reports say the university wants him to step down. If you weren't with us earlier, Jimmy and I spent a lot of time with Tark today, and he told us, and there's Lois, He told us that when the season is over, he will sit down with John Welton, the president of Fresno State, and there's Danny, his son, who some thought in days past might become the head coach here someday. Jerry doesn't think that's going to happen. But they'll sit down at the end of the year and decide the future of Jerry Tarkanian as a somber-looking John Welton looks on from upstairs. Tark, by the way, right now he's only worried about one thing, and that's winning a basketball game.
Well, I know he wants to keep coaching. He expressed to us today that he is a little bit tired, but my goodness, you've done something long as he's done it. With the energy and the passion he's put into it, you're going to be a little tired, especially when you get to March right now. Every college coach out there is tired this time of the year. You and I aren't clicking on all cylinders right now with the schedule we've had lately.
We're not?
But well, I'm not. You might be. You just watch this fire and passion in practice today, Bob. He still has a great love for the game. I'm not sure he's going to be back next year when you really start to listen to how he says things.
Blocking foul on Chris Sandy. Fresno bench hoping for a 5-second call. And it'll send Lynn Greer back to the line now, 17 foul.
Look at him keep that ball right on his hip. He's not going to get out in front of him or behind him too far away from his body. In that situation, if you reach in to try to get a steal, you're going to have to get contact on Greer into a free-throw strike.
32 for Lynn Greer tonight.
Boy, he'd be a great coach to have on your staff if he doesn't continue to play and make money at this sport. He could take guards and put them on one end in the first 30 minutes of this practice session and big guys on the other and just go to work because he knows all the little things about how to play the game on the perimeter.
Temple leads it by 6. Sandy for Jackson. Entry pass. Melvin Eli. Jump hook and a foul. Appears to be contact by Rollerson. It'll be Rollerson, and that'll be his 4th. Lesser of two evils for John Chaney. That had been on Kevin Lyde, he'd be gone. And how about this? They might win this game without Kevin Lyde scoring 1 point in this game. Melvin will shoot a couple. They're down by 6.
They still haven't stopped Melvin Eli when they've been patient to getting the ball down there on that low block within 5 or 6 feet from the rim. He's been open at least 20 times tonight during points in the possession, and they've turned him down.
Short. Rebound Hawkins. Trying to step through a double team. Now he gets a timeout. Good decision by David Hawkins, who's got all the poise you could ever want to see in a second-year player. 4th timeout of the night for John Chaney. And this one comes with 1:10 to go. And Temple still on top. Friday night exclusive coverage of the NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament begins on ESPN2. Some Big Ten Conference USA action. Indiana, TCU. At 11:30, it'll be Santa Clara and LSU. And ESPN is your exclusive home for the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship. For more on the women's brackets, log on to ESPN.com.
You know the best thing those 4 teams have going for them in that women's tournament? They're not in the Mideast Regional with UConn. I'm telling you, for 2 weeks I've talked about it. Stay out of their bracket. That thing might be the UConn Invitational before it's all said and done. That train is rolling down the track with great momentum right now.
Hawkins looking to throw it in. Does for Rollerson. Back to Hawkins in the backcourt and a reach-around foul on Travis Demanding. And one of the benefits of having Ron Rollerson on the floor right now, he's a very good free throw shooter at 74%. They fouled Hawkins, who's a 69% shooter at the line. SportsCenter's coming up next when we wrap up our NIT action here in Fresno. Linda Cohn and Scott Van Pelt. The countdown is on. Shelly Smith's all-access look. Pride of Oregon's matchup against Montana. Top buzzer beaters. Had some fun with that earlier in the evening. And there's the ball that rolls in for David Hawkins. 11 for him. And some NBA action coming up on SportsCenter as well.
I think it's been about 41 or 2 years since Oregon last won a game in that NCAA tournament.
It's about time. This would make it a 3-possession game, and it's back iron. That's a long time.
Older than me.
Me too. Yeah, right. Sandy from Demandby. Looking to drive, kicking. Damon Jackson. He swishes another one. 23 for Damon Jackson tonight. And we're back to a one-possession game.
Well, they fight hard to keep Lynn Greer from getting that basketball. So Hawkins is the second guy you go to if you're Temple.
Then Jackson with a hack on Hawkins in the backcourt. And this one is far from over. 48.2 seconds to go. Temple by 3. Hawkins needing to hit a free throw or 2 to make it a two-possession game. Perfect. A dozen for the sophomore tonight.
I like the perimeter game that John Chaney has coming back next year, Bob. Hawkins a sophomore. Brian Polk a sophomore. Niall Murray a freshman. But he's got to find some big bodies to replace in Rollerson and Kevin Lyne.
Temple by 5. Damon Jackson, the go-to guy right now. He's hit 7 threes on the night. Sandy trying to push that thing. Eli for Demandby for 3. Travis can't hit it. Kevin Lyde way upstairs to pull it down.
Look at
now they release it, and Lynn Greer will walk in and score. 35 for Lynn Greer, and the Owls lead by 7 with 30 seconds to go. And this place has fallen deathly quiet.
Bob, what I tell you about 8 or 9 minutes ago, if Melvin Eli doesn't touch that ball every possession, these guys are going to get beat. They got away from it. Yeah, they were making some perimeter shots. They're not great enough perimeter shooters to win a ball game against a club like Temple. Melvin Eli was their meal ticket tonight, and they cashed it in too early.
78-73, Temple. Each coach with 1 timeout remaining. Melvin Eli still only 10 points, or rather 10 shots in this game.
Well, Lynn Greer's had 3 or 4 just easy. Look at him just read that defender. Saying, come on, put a little pressure on me here. This is too easy. Same way slipping inside right there. Just knifes around people. Great elevation, great finisher around that rim. Terrific three-point shooter. I mean, he's one of the all-times right there in that Temple program. They've had some great ones with a Macon kid, just on and on down the line. But he understands the game now from a perimeter player as well as you can understand it. He's made those Fresno guards tonight at times look awfully silly chasing him.
And then he's fouled in the backcourt by Matt Mitchell. I would say that Lynn Greer served his apprenticeship under Pepe Sanchez very well indeed. Practiced against him every day. Made him better.
Play the game similar, don't they?
And on the other hand, are these the closing seconds of one of the great coaching careers in the history of college basketball? 31 years on the sidelines for Jerry Tarkanian. 19 of those at UNLV for the national championship in 1990. Lynn Greer with that make 36 points on the night. Of course, wonder what's going through Tark's mind right now.
Well, he told us today, you know, I have basketball is my life. I have no other skills. As far as driving a nail in or anything like that, he said I'd be lost. But you know what? When you do this skill as well as he's done it, you don't need any other skills.
Melvin Eli at the jumper. Melvin Eli knocks it down. 19 for him. And Jerry Tarkanian calls his final timeout. 13.3 to go. Both teams hitting shots here. The problem for Fresno is they're just playing basket for basket on each end. And how about Temple? A team that likes to play in the 50s or the 60s, and they drop 80 on the board tonight. And a reminder, SportsCenter is with you as soon as we leave you. 80-75. Temple Owls trying to improve their record to 60-14. And as the years have gone by, we've always seen John Chaney's teams be tournament tough. Mostly in the NCAA, where they went to 12 in a row in between their NITs in '89 and now 2002. 28 three-point shots made in this game tonight, 14 by each club. Hawkins to throw it in. Gets it into Westby. Back to Hawkins. Running it down the court. Demandby grabs him, and Travis Demandby will foul out.
This is Jerry Tarkanian's last game on that sidelines that will certainly change the complexion of college basketball. I mean, he's been at it at this level since back in 1961, I think, over at the junior college level. Just has continued to win games and win on the recruiting battle. Just has done it all. You got to think right now his thoughts, if the conversation between he and the school president at the conclusion of this season will result in him no longer being the head coach. Thousands of basketball games and memories are built up inside that guy.
67 wins at Pasadena, 145 at Riverside, 116 to Long Beach State, 509 at UNLV. Hawkins drills it. 14 for him tonight. Final 9 seconds. 81-75 Temple. Mitchell won't go for him. Kevin lied. And the Temple Owls, who've played such a tough schedule all year long, are going to the NIT second round. And the season is over for Fresno State at 19-15. And considering the early foul trouble, a very well-engineered win for John Chaney. Our final score again.